Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel Pseudocode and Programming. Today we are going to learn how to write conditional loops. So the first question that arises in our mind is, what is conditional loop? So basically conditional loops are those loops that occur when a certain condition is true. That is, that if we apply a condition, like for example, if the number is greater than 10, then a certain task is to be performed, then it will only be executed if the number is greater than 10. It will not be executed in the case when the number is less than 10 or equals to 10 until we put the condition over there. So in this case, the first thing that is going to come, or the first type of conditional loop that we have, is the if then else loop. So and you can even write and if. So if then else and if loop is a very commonly used loop, and one thing that we all need to know about it is that it is used for some certain number of conditions. Like, it cannot be used when there are several conditions for just one single case. Like, you have been given options on a website, then it will not be conducted using if then else or and if loop. So let's say if we are doing a grade threshold and it has only three options, so it will be if first we will be taking input, so it will be input. Oh, I think I just didn't change the text, so it will be smaller than this is, and it will be input grade. Now the first letter of G will be capital because it is a variable, and then after that we are going to write if grade is greater than 80, then we will be leaving some space, because for these types of loop, for every step we are going to leave some space. Then and another enter, and then it will leave another indentation and write output apostrophe open, because you're going to write apostrophe because this message is going to be shown on the screen. Your grade is A. And then after that, now we don't have just one grade, we have many grades in a grading system. So let's say if we have to put another grade like B, then we are going to write under the then indentation, we are going to write else, all in capital, else if. This is another nested if, because it's one if over here and the other if is over here, so this is the nested if. You can even write it in different lines, else if, or you can even show the condition over here, if grade is greater than 70, so another spacing, then and enter, and another spacing, indentation, output. Your grade is B. And now we are just doing this for 2 grades because we are just learning at this point. So first we are going to end this first else if, that is, we are first going to end this one. So we are going to write enter, we'll make it align with this if, and we'll write end if. This marks that this condition has now ended, this condition. And then we move towards the left corner, and then we're going to write and if for the first if. This is how we write if then else and if condition for conditional loops. Now the second case that we have is another type of loop that requires more attention and it's a bit complex to use. This includes the case of end case. End case. So the thing is that in these type of conditional loops, we usually use it because when there is a set criteria, for example, we have a fill in the blank option, or we are told to choose from a specific set of options and we do not have any variation or intermediates in between. So in this case, for example, if we are grading, we are going to write case of grade, and before this you can even write input, because we are going to obviously input the grade, right? So input case of grade, and then we're going to enter. Now in this case there's just one indentation, we're going to write it all in one indentation, and it's like if it's like if it's greater than a, then we're going to write, if it's 60, then we're going to write out with your grade is B. And likewise we can even copy this line, Control C, and just enter it, make some indentation, Control V, and just change the condition over here. Like for A it was 80 previously, you can write it 80. But in this case, one limitation that you'll face, that if someone enters a value that is greater than these values, it will be giving an error. So you have to keep that in mind. So it will be A over here. And now after this, I'm going to press enter, case of grade, and other, and in one more thing that you can add is otherwise over here. You can write and otherwise. This is this condition that if this is not true, if someone enters something else, then it will be otherwise, and then enter, we're going to give indentation and it will be output invalid grade. So it's all written in apostrophe because obviously this is going to be output, and then at the end it will be end case. So yeah, this is how you're going to write down case of otherwise end case. Today we learned how to do case of otherwise end case, and we learned how to do conditional loops, if then else and if loop, and case of otherwise end case loop. And if you like the video, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and see you in another one. Allah Hafiz.